compelled to make this mini documentary about what I have seen on the roads. I've been a long time motorist, been driving successfully with no accidents for, well, let's see, 30 years, 30 plus years. So I think I have a decent perspective on the evolution of the roadways here in the United States, particularly Michigan, the motor city state. So the first comment I would make is that there have always been super speeders. They've always been out there, but the definition has changed. The game's ante has been upped. Right now I'm traveling at a rate of 80 miles per hour in a 70 on a Michigan highway. The other cars in the left lane are going well above this mark. I am slow if I stay in the left lane. That's a new high water mark that was perhaps hit in the early COVID years, say 2021, 2022. During the COVID years, especially the early ones, there was a change in the behavior of drivers. I would call it a wilding of driving. I believe this occurred due to the psychological effects of COVID on the population. The population essentially adopted an attitude of survival, and somehow that translated into raising their driving speed by a significant margin. I'd say, let's call the general rate of speed that people travel at was upped by 5 miles per hour. And then we get into the super speeder. The super speeder went from perhaps 1% of all drivers, heck, maybe even 0.5% of all drivers on the road at any given time, to about, I would estimate now, somewhere in the range of, let's call it 15%. That's an enormous leap in the amount of super speeders on the road. I apologize if I have a bit of a lisp. I'm wearing Invisaligns most of the time, and it's causing my speech to need correction. Anyways, more on the super speeders. The super speeders are anyone and everyone. They include grandmas to gangsters. They're never happy with the speed they're going. They'll go as fast as they can, essentially, until they come up to someone in front of them. You know who you are, by the way. Throughout this whole video, I think that should be sort of a understood trope that you guys can keep going back to in your minds as you watch this. You know who you are. Okay? Now, I myself have sort of joined the general population of increased speed. In my defense, that's to sort of follow the flow of traffic. Especially on the highway, excuse me. So, I sort of wanted to make this PSA. I don't see a ton of videos about this out there. Maybe there are. I haven't seen them. But just the general etiquette of the roads, I believe, personally, has changed pretty significantly since the COVID era. I'm sure there's a lot of you out there that would agree with me on that. And perhaps agree or disagree even on the reasoning, on the psychological reasoning why it's occurred. That being said, don't clog up that left lane. Stay safe out there, people.